What is happening, everybody? Alright, so wanted to make a quick video for my 392 brethren out there. This is a set of dyno charts that spread the gap between a bone stock 392 Hemi and a full bolt-on 392 Hemi on E85. And what do I mean by full bolt-on? Well, I mean long tube headers, ported intake manifold, larger throttle body, cold air intake. Basically everything you can throw at one of these things without opening up the engine. So stock camshaft and stock valve train. And just so you guys know, on this dyno, it's a Mustang dyno and it's showing SAE corrected numbers. That's what we base everything off of. That 407 horsepower out of that 392 is a pretty healthy 392 on this dyno. Most of them make, 403, 405. This one's putting out a little bit more. And also, this dyno is being run right now at using the wheel speed as opposed to the pickup for the tack lead, or basically for the tack lead for the smart tack on the dyno because it failed. So the dyno numbers are a little bit lower than what they would normally be. Typically with the tack lead hooked up, 392s will put down from 407 to 410, but now this one put down 407 without it. Again, very healthy version of that car. As a matter of fact, it makes about the same power that my car makes with a little bit less, but not so much less that it didn't chirp me a little bit less than my car did. With my car having the tune and the cat delete. But anyway, getting back to it, I'm getting off track. So, as far as the full bolt-on setup on 93 octane, as you can see right here, 424 horse, 435 torque. Pretty impressive gain over those stock numbers. But what really gets interesting is when you throw that bad boy a little E85. Now, in that case, the difference is in the injectors. And of course, the tune is changed as well to accommodate the 85. But look at that torque curve based on, or when you compare it to the stock 392. That car, just so you guys know, is a gem to drive. This thing, what the torque and the horsepower on the chart don't show is how that thing responds under partial throttle. That, to me, sometimes can mean more than just the outright power figures themselves. And that car, just tooling around, and the thing feels like it's got an extra 50 foot-pounds of torque. And as you can see, just by showing you here again, when you're looking at those torque figures, again, the peak numbers just really don't do it justice when you've got a torque curve that just carries those types of gains all the way across. So I wanted to share this with you guys. Again, just as a recap, bone stock car versus full bolt-ons on 93 versus full bolt-ons on 93 with E85. And again, this is a Mustang dyno being run at, basically at a little bit of a disadvantage when it comes to power because we're checking the power based on wheel speed. And those are SAE corrected figures. But again, I wanted to get you guys those results. A lot of folks will ask, what gains can you get from different modifications, and will this work, or how much power will I gain from that? Well, you have to take it really all as a whole. You have to take the combination as a whole compared to just the individual components themselves. This is what you can expect. That's the delta. In other words, the difference between stock, fully modified on fuel, or on on 93, and then on E85 again. And as you guys can see, that E85, the stuff is just magical, man. I love that stuff now. Wasn't quite a believer until I started dabbling in it a little bit more. And as you can see, the results pretty well speak for themselves. But at any rate, you guys have any questions, feel free to post up below. And that's a wrap on this one. Hope that helped you. Adios.